Hey guys, I'm Kayakis, and welcome back to Keep On Mining Worlds, where we hop right on into it, and we hop right back into it. We unlocked copper last time, and so we're just here trying to get all that. We also have this new ice planet. Looks like a magnet artifact up here as well. And so when we break the ice, it happens to kind of send out ice shards. They break nearby stuff, and it's all good and golden there. And yeah, we got a lot of rubies. Mining goes on for a decent amount of time, but now we got a magnet. There we go. New best in terms of copper. Let's go to our upgrade and see what kind of artifact we got. Ores, XP, and gems have a additional 1.2% chance to be worth double. Nice. Which means we are only missing 2 of those. What is this? Ah, I see. 2 commons, and we have 2 rares. So hopefully this time around, I would love to be able to see a legendary pop up, but that seems very unlikely. What are we able to purchase? We can get a small circle. That'd be very nice. A small circle seems like that might be the very way to go. So yes, please, small circle. What do we have? Instantly gain 1 mastery point. I mean, that sounds very good. It takes a ton of money, but perhaps we want additional rocks at the start. I'm not entirely sure which way we want to go. Looks like nothing here actually costs gold. I see. So this tells us our gold spawn chance on what we have a chance to see. What does it take to make our next pickaxe? We don't even know what ore that is. We can level up our currently equipped one for some very minor bonuses. Or let's take a look around, see what else we have. We've got the market and the mines. Alright, well, let's just keep on mining. And it looks like we have 21 seconds on the clock, and I do remember these rings. They give a good multiplier. I don't think we got any of the rings on the last run. Oh, nice. We're already up to 3 rings. That's a very good start. 4 rings. And I don't know if it's a good method or not, but I'm going for these ice chunks there. And we got a ton of gold. Not bad. What else? Not much else. Let's see. Can we get any upgrades with what we have? We can get some upgrades with the gold that we've gotten. Let's go ahead and get a little extra time. And perhaps a little extra time. And perhaps... I don't know. I don't necessarily want to spend my my iron, but we'll go ahead and put it into that. And back to the grind we go. Alright, we just got our second ring, and if you look up in the top left, we've gotten an artifact. Looks like a boxing glove, so I'm not sure if that is a common or not, but we will soon find out. It is a common. That was our best for experience and best for quite a bit of things, actually. Let's head over and see what this does. Oh, it's a pickaxe damage multiplier. Very nice. Always can use some more pickaxe damage. Let me take a look to see if there's anything we should save up for. Alright, so looking around, it looks like things are pretty expensive. Some of the cheaper items are like this, 6,500 gold, 7,000 gold, and then we don't even know what that is. And then we hop over to, maybe that's what we're wanting to save up for, is 1,750 for the copper. And then a lot of these aren't even discovered for it, but then like something like this needs 17,000 iron and even more, and yeah, just a lot of expensive stuff here. So I think we'll probably save up for 1750 iron, as well as try to get a lot of iron for whatever else we were able to get. So keep on mining. Alright, after a few runs, we have a good amount of copper bars actually. And that didn't take too long to actually get some of this stuff saved up. So now we can get full copper rocks. I wonder, is that actually our next resource that we're looking for? I'm I'm going to say yes, which is not what I was expecting. I didn't think we'd be making full bars out of sulfur. So that seems a little odd to me, but oh well. Let's go ahead, upgrade our Molotov a little bit. We can get some more time and max that out. Very good. So let's take a look at what the sulfur ones look like. Alright. Can definitely be able to tell what they look like, differentiate them from the other ones. I'm not sure if I want to solo target them like I have been at the start of this, or just kind of let it happen naturally as I target the ice chunks. Because the ice chunks seem to be doing a good amount of damage to these other things around here. And that's how I was getting some good copper. But let's see if 500 will be able to get us anything. I am doubtful in that regard. Molotovs. We can increase our chance to spawn them. Not bad. However, the anvil, is that enough? There it is. So probably another 2 runs. And maybe longer for the gold itself. But we might be able to get a new pickaxe. So actually, I think that would be worthwhile saving up for. So I'm going to go ahead and mine a little longer and try to get all that we need for that. But there we go. We got one more artifact before we head out. Alright, and that artifact was rare. Very good. I'm excited to see what that gave us. We have a few new bests now. Very nice. Let's see. Nothing to write home about, I would say. But we now have one spawn 1 rock for every 10 rocks mined. Very nice. And yeah, I think we're still going to be saving up. I think that'll be the best play. Alright, and just like that, we have enough to be able to make our new pickaxe. So let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, very shiny sulfuron. And how does that compare? I'm mostly looking at and interested in the damage. That's a pretty good boost to damage. And our circle size, not too shabby. So its special effect is every 20 mined gem, it will be worth double. I guess that's okay. I think I prefer the special one of this one, increase the ore value multiplier by 0.2. But I guess we'll make do with that. Let me see, what am I trying to look for? This, we are not even close to unlocking the next one. However, where is our level shown? Maybe in the mines, I think. Yes. So, in one more level, we should be getting a new mastery point, which will be very good. And let me decide if I want to throw any ores into these. Alright, well, I decided, yes, I'll just throw basically everything that I could into there. So, we got a few more counts up. So, the big one was this XP mine. So now, I think it was at 3, and now it's at 7 for its multiplier. And, I mean, it's a pretty good chunk. That should definitely help out. But that does mean that we don't have much in regards to anything that we can actually spend here. So perhaps it's time to go back to grinding. Let me see. Yeah. I don't suppose... Yeah, we don't have what we need to unlock that one. And this takes those purple gems. I'm guessing they're amethysts. In order to unlock them. Oh, but we can now get some more XP there and some more ore value. So we definitely have some stuff that we are aiming for. As in, we're definitely going for all the sulfur that we can. Would be very helpful. So we'll just target all of these ice things that we can. Definitely want the ore multipliers. I haven't really noticed that the halo thing has been super helpful, super useful. I mean, yeah, it gives me a 0.42 times ore multiplier, which I don't know if that's current. I don't think it's current, but it's probably overall, but I just haven't noticed that it's actually doing a whole lot. But we do have a mastery point. Let's come in and decide what we want to use it on. So we could upgrade this to go for even more of an ore multiplier. We could get... Every second our circle increases, which I also haven't noticed this very much at all. Every found artifact increases the ore multiplier, which this is probably a pretty big one. We are finding artifacts relatively quickly, and that's a pretty good jump actually. And then every second your pickaxe damage will increase. So that is good. I'm not sure what the best one is per se, but I'm thinking I might just go with the excavator because that is a pretty solid multiplier for the ore. So there we go. Because yeah, we still have 4 more levels before we can even get to this next one, which that's basically a whole nother mastery point at that point. So all right, let's just go ahead and max that one out. Keep on mining, saving up our sulfur the best that we can in order to get some of these better upgrades. All right, and that was our new best run. So yeah, you can see almost everything was a new best except for copper and these amethyst shards. So let's head into our upgrade. We can get either upgrade our sulfur itself. However, I'm thinking the best thing to upgrade might be our ore value, because more ore value means more ore in general. There we go. And yeah, I guess we can go ahead and just throw the remainder of our sulfur into that. So just keeping on targeting the sulfur the best that we can, and grabbing these ice chunks the best that we can as well, because those are the things that are really helping us clear out these maps in these levels, so they're very handy. Alright, and after a bit of mining, we have enough to get a mastery point, so let's go ahead and grab that. More ore! Very good. I think we'll also probably get some more, probably some more ore. I did get that an extra time earlier, and so that just has the one more upgrade into that. Big bombs after that. And perhaps I should get some more on that. Oh, right. I forgot that, yeah, the mastery point. So we could choose, if we wanted to upgrade that again. I'm not so sure on that one. We'll just keep that in the back of my head and continue mining on. Yeah, it has been a little while since we've seen another artifact, which is pretty sad. I mean, there is only one common left, but I would imagine that I would have saw that already. I did get an upgrade in the skill tree that makes the artifacts 8% more common, 8% of their current show chance, I guess. And so clearly that's not working out to help us get any new ones, but it's helping at some point, I guess. At some point it will help out, just not at this point. And then yeah, just gotta make sure we grab all these halos. Alright, now we got enough sulfur, we can max out the ore value and then start working on some more XP. And then probably we want to get some more rocks at the spawn, although the field already seems pretty full, so I'm not so sure what more we could do on that. Spawn one rock every 1.1 second. Sure, I'll take a little bit of auto spawn, and we'll just keep it at that. Alright, how are we looking now? I'll be honest, it looks the same to me. I don't see that it's necessarily any fuller, but I assume that it is. I can see plenty of rocks spawning in, so that's a plus, I guess. Keep us up on things that we're able to mine. Yeah, I gotta make sure we get all these ice chunks. And there we go. A whole nother run just like that. A few new bests, not too shabby. Let's go back and upgrade. Can we grab, yes, some more XP. Grab that once, and paradots, huh? That's a new gem. And looks like we have another option for upgrading the value of ores, which we'll definitely be looking into grabbing that. Keep on mining. Alright, and after quite a few rounds, we have found another artifact. Some arrows. Nice. So let's head back and check out what that is. We've got environmental spawns deal 10% more damage. Cool. I like that. And we have enough sulfur that we can unlock some obsidian rocks, which looks like that is our next currency, or our next ores at least. And we can get some ore value up by twice. Let's do that. And then some obsidian chunk upgrades, not too shabby. We'll go ahead and grab that one and just kind of spend our money wherever we can, give or take. Sure. Alright, so that's all of that. If we hop over here, you can see we are 1 skill point away, so 1 level up away. And we just leveled up recently, so we are a little bit away from all of that. But if we hop on in here, we should see some obsidian rocks. Here's one. Takes a little bit to get those mined up, but at least these little ice chunks will now be doing some extra damage, which is pretty nice. Alright, and here we are. And in this one, we found the last common artifact. Very nice. So we got a compass. Now we can keep our way. Let's see what this does. Compass. All anomalies get a plus 2% spawn chance. So that happens to actually be one of the upgrades I got. This little electrical anomaly, which I guess that explains why we weren't able to find that artifact sooner, was because I didn't have this unlocked. But now that we actually do have this unlocked, instantly we got the artifact. Very nice. And I was saving up for increasing my gem value on the iron, so I don't think I'll do this XP one here. But we are working our way along, and I just realized I spent a bunch of iron, so that's cool. Alright, and just like that, we leveled up again, which means we can move on to the next world. World 4, Street Corner. And we have a bunch of options to choose from yet again. Alright, after reading these, I think my best options are the golden ones. As fun as a rainbow rock would be, I think the golden clover, so whenever we get double, we have a chance to get 5 times or 10 times. And then golden time, so every now and then, the clock will turn golden for 2 seconds, and during that, it'll be worth 5 times. So if we could maybe get a 5 times with a 10 times multiplier on top of that, that should be pretty crazy actually. And we do have a mastery point, so let's see what these would end up looking like when they get upgraded. So it just increases their chance by a little bit. Okay, and as for the time, it increases its chance by a little bit. Well, that's pretty cool. I think perhaps going with the golden clover might be a pretty good one. It is a small chance, but that is a big boost if that ever procs. So we'll hop back over to here, and our anvil looks like we can actually craft this next one. And we are pretty close to being able to craft the one after that, and not the one after that. So let's just go ahead, make black core, which increased our damage a good amount. So over 2 extra damage, and our circle size is pretty big now. And the effect is a purple lightning beam spawns every 3 seconds. The beam insta-mines rocks. That sounds pretty good actually. And so I think we need 11,000 obsidian and 22,000 sulfur. We have enough gold as it is, so basically once we hit 11,000 obsidian, we should have enough of everything else in order to get everything. What kind of... oh, fireworks? Yes. That was what I was about to ask. What kind of environmental hazard are we going to face on this map? And it's fireworks. These things are not breaking very quick, that is for sure. Make sure we grab our halos. Make sure we grab our halos. Couple of fireworks. And just like that, we don't have enough. But one more go, and we probably should. Alright, so it actually took 2 turns to get enough, but we did find the hedgehog ring. So we have that. We just barely actually got enough for that. Let's head over and see what the golden ring does. Every second, a small ring has an 8% chance to shoot from the circle. Rocks inside will be mined. Nice. Alright, and that was for the pickaxe. So let's go ahead, and we just got that one. We're basically jumping straight to the next one. Infernum. And so we got a pretty good boost to our damage yet again. Let's just take a quick look. Mine time is even quicker now. I mean, everything's better, but what does this affect? All artifacts increase their spawn chance by 5% of their current chance. So hopefully we'll be able to see some of these rarer ones as well. And what else can we buy? Some ore value. That's always pretty good. So yes, we'll grab that. We have enough to double our gem value. That's also good. And what else? Probably some XP. The best that we can. We'll grab that because we can. And that one. And that looks like everything that we can afford. Hop back into here. And let's see how good this new pickaxe is. I mean, it seems like it's doing pretty good. I'd like to think that it's breaking things faster, which I'm sure that it is. It's just hard to notice. I can tell it is going faster than I'm used to, not the when we just unlocked the black core, but the one before that. I'm used to that one, and it's definitely faster than that. Look at that. New best all around, almost. But that is a lot of new bests. In fact, we are already up to 15,000. I'm thinking that perhaps we actually hit that ×5, or maybe our clock turned golden. I'm not sure. But we do got a mastery point now, so let's go ahead and allocate that. I'm considering putting it into the golden clover again. However, that's only when we are receiving double ores, which, I mean, it's good. I'm also considering the golden time, just because instead of a 4% chance, it will be a 5, which I think that might be why we had so many resources that time, why almost everything was a new best, was I'm guessing the clock turned golden. So if we could get that to happen more frequently, then it should be pretty good. Ooh, now we can get a flame puddle anomaly, which means more damage for us. Very good. We'll grab that. We'll grab that the best that we can. What is this? Flame puddle size? Sure. And duration? Sure. And looks like a Sphene is next, so we can go ahead and save up for that. And as for the anvil, we do not have what that takes, and I don't think we even have it unlocked, whatever is coming up next. So that might take a little bit of digging in order to find that. Alright, and after a couple of runs again, we do have enough that we can get this timed growth upgrade, which we currently only have enough time that this would apply once, but that does seem very good, very handy. Every second, that would be something that would be fantastic. Time equals time. I think we should save up for that. And then, they both take copper. That's very sad. I was hoping to get another circle. Circles are fun. Circles are friends. Alright, let's try not to spend our copper, so not buy that. We could buy flame puddle damage, and I guess we could upgrade our obsidian. Max that out, not that one. And then just hop back in here. So we do have 26 seconds on the clock. And by my count, if the golden time happens every 5 seconds, or not 5 seconds, every 5% per second, then at every 20 seconds we should get at least one, statistically speaking. And like right now we got a nit. So we should be seeing probably one golden timer per run, which is pretty good actually. We've gotten leveled up. No new bests. I think that one run previously was kind of crazy, and so it might be hard to see any new bests for a little while. And we finally got enough copper that we can now get some time equals time. So now we have a chance to increase our run, which is very handy. Then may as well spend the rest of that. We'll buy one of those. We'll buy one of those. Unfortunately, that didn't lead to anything. Let's see. I'm just curious if we can kind of determine what might be holding us back from the next ore. Perhaps the more gems. I could see that, or maybe even this new gem, which that takes iron and this takes sulfur. So maybe we give it a good while and save up for those. Alright, but we did get our first epic rune, or artifact, the diamond rune. That is pretty exciting. Let's see what this is. It is spawn 1 rock for every 6 rocks mined. So looks like we are going for a couple of runes. So I'm wondering what is next, because we already went through gold and diamond. So what other kind of rune is there? Well, now we spawn a rock for every 15, 10, and 6 rocks mined. I'm guessing the legendary one will be either 2 or 3. I'm guessing 3. But that is our first epic. Very cool. Very cool. And how are we doing as far as any of this? We need, what is that, 100,000 iron, yes, and 72,000. So not too bad actually, but definitely still good ways away. So we're just gonna have to keep on keeping on. And at the end of that run, we happen to get another artifact. This one's only rare, unfortunately, but let's see what that does. My guess is some damage. Am I correct? Critical damage. Okay. Well, it's better than nothing. I would have preferred just normal pickaxe damage, but that's fine, I suppose. How are we doing? Also, what is the next one take? 8 level ups for that. Clicking on the wrong thing there, and yeah, you can see we're getting there, but it is definitely taking some time. Alright, and then we finally have enough we can buy both of these. So let's do it and see that neither of those led to what we were hoping they would go towards. So I'm not sure what leads us to our next one. Let's see. Anvil, yes, we are missing something there. Well, let's keep on digging. Well, while upgrading, I noticed I unlocked, or found, Realgar rocks. But we don't actually know what it takes to unlock these, so this isn't our next rock that spawns. This is actually the rock that spawns, presumably after the next rock. And what is our next rock? Well, your guess is as good as mine, because yeah, I'm kind of running out of options here. Alright guys, so I was just doing a whole lot of grinding, and I was certain that this new ore was going to be locked behind this one, because every other one, so every red upgrade you see out here, required a ore that I didn't have access to. But if you look over here, you can actually see we have titanium unlocked. How did we do that? Well, I was grinding so much I managed to go under the sea, and I just learned, if you hover over this, you can see you can unlock some new items right up in here. So one of which was the titanium. We also got chocolate cake and crayons, I guess. And then yeah, so I don't know what the crayons do yet, but looks like, yeah, we were able to get to our next resource just by progressing. And this one, it's still all locked, so we can't even see what we're missing, I guess. So that was interesting. I am curious, is this next one? Yes. So we actually did get this next one, which is the one that's afterwards. And all of these, this one, however, is not. I was just curious if all of these ones that we came across are the titanium. However, it doesn't look like it actually is. Anvil. We need a bunch of titanium for that, and probably the next one, the Realgal. I don't know. But what do the crayons do? Every second, the circle will decrease or increase in size. Okay, and adds a circle multiplier size. Very nice. Alright, but coming under the sea, I did read about the environmental thing. There's an eel here, and I don't even think I need to do anything. I don't think I need to interact with them. I just think they swim underneath, and they just do passive damage underneath. So I could literally just sit here and just farm up some extra ores. Let them do whatever they decide that they want to do. And yeah, you can see in the top right, I did end up using a whole bunch of boosts just to try to get a little extra something out of all these. I mean, all of these, or this map in general, has a bigger ore multiplier on it. And you can see we got a lot of XP and quite a bit of ores in general. So let's see if we can't actually buy something now. We can get more rocks to spawn, or we can get more rocks to spawn. Very exciting, I know. But let's see, what do we need for this? I might actually just save up for this new rock type. Although I didn't actually notice a titanium rock. I guess I wasn't really looking. I guess it's these spiky looking ones. So that must be the titanium. And then, yeah, the flat shiny ones are the iron. But hopefully, yeah, it won't take too long. We'll get all those mined up, and then we can get a new rack out here. And maybe we'll be able to find some new artifacts as well. Alright, the end of another run. We've got a golden ring. And we leveled up enough, we got another mastery point. So let's head back to our upgrades. First off, let's check out what kind of gold ring we have. Ah, very good. An ore multiplier. That is what we like to see. Definitely. Alright, we then can upgrade. So by moving on to Under the Sea, we did get a couple new skills. So more skills, more gains. So every purchased skill tree upgrade increases the ore value multiplier. And then we have the Forager. Every crafted pickaxe increases the ore value multiplier. So we can either I'm thinking we upgrade one of these. That brings it up to a 1.35 times as opposed to what it is now. So about a 0.4 upgrade. Or this one, which is about a 0.3 upgrade. So I think we go with more skills, more gains. So let's go ahead and upgrade that bad boy there. And the next one, is it also about a 0.4? It is, so this might be a pretty worthwhile one. I'm curious about this, how big of an upgrade boost this one is. It's even more, it's even bigger. I'm just hoping that those stack. And let's see, coming over to the skill tree, we can unlock our big old racks, our new racks, and the anvil. We can even get a new pickaxe. So we got Titan Steel. Does that do more damage? Because I put a bunch of gems into upgrading that one since we were however far away, an unknown amount of time away from this. It is slightly slower on the mine speed now because of the upgrades, and it does slightly less, or quite a bit less critical damage, but that's okay. If more than 200 rocks are mined during a mining session, increase the XP multiplier by 1 times. That sounds amazing, actually, because we're constantly, I think it's around 500 that we're breaking. Let's head over to the skill tree. We can grab that one. And, I mean, we can't really upgrade anything, so we'll just buy whatever we're able to at this time. We have time equals time, even more, so that is fantastic. Alright. So, yep. Just back at this, and hopefully we can get over 200 of these rocks mined up. Alright, and we got another run going here. Looks like these Regal, or I don't know what to even call them. Realgar rocks. They're pretty shiny looking stuff there. But yeah, you can see things are going pretty good. We already have over 1 million of these gold ores mined up. And then once we refine them, yeah, we'll get a bunch of golden bars. Alright, let's take a look here. So yeah, we've well over 200 racks mined, which means we have a bonus multiplier on top of everything else. And so we've got quite a lot of bars. We're going to do another run, although as you can see we did get a big boost on, well, basically everything. But I would like to get, I think, 80,000 of these new ores. So that's going to be my goal, is to get another 20,000. And then that'll give us enough for a new pickaxe. And here we are. So we can now get that bad boy, the Rose Stone. 17 damage as opposed to what we were most common, or not common, but most used to. 12.5. So this thing is quite a bit more damage. Yes. When a bomb spawns, it has a 3% chance to spawn another bomb. It's too bad because I actually really liked the effect of this Titan steel, but it's just outlived its usefulness, I guess, this pickaxe in general. Because upgrading these things, well, one, it's a very minuscule upgrade, but also it's very expensive in terms of gems. But it is nice that, well, everything is bigger. Circle size is almost at 1, and it looks like we actually have, well, not on us currently, but we have unlocked what we need for the next one, but not the following one. So looks like we need a lot of titanium, and titanium is not something we necessarily have a ton of currently. Can we change that? The answer was no, but also kind of yes. Now we can spawn some dynamite, so that's always fun. Let's just buy as much of this as we can. More dynamite, more dynamite. All right. So the yes part is up here. Titanium chunks, we can increase the spawn there, which will definitely help us out. Let's go to the market, use all of our upgrades, and keep on mining. So we have 32 seconds on the clock. I did unlock, what are these, emeralds? So we have a new gem type out here. Haven't discovered a use for them yet, but I'm sure they'll come in handy at some point. But yeah, I'm hoping that this will be a record-setting run with all of my upgrades and everything used, all my boosts. I mean, in terms of raw gold ore, we're already at 2.5 million, so this is seeming pretty promising at the moment. We're getting a bunch of these halos, which those add a bunch of multipliers as well. How are we doing? Love to see all these new bests. New bests all across the board, basically. And yeah, love to see it. If we do it at the same rate, which we all know I'm not going to do it at the same rate, it would take about 10 more runs to get all the titanium. However, I'm willing to grind out however long it takes to get us that new pickaxe. Alright, and during our grind, we found another rare artifact, fist sculpture. Let's head back and check out what this is. We have rocks mined via crits or insta-mine will have a 5% chance to drop double ores, XP, and gems. Very nice. Especially since that'll pair well with our, what is it? Golden clover. Yes, that'll be pretty good. And you can see the next map, it takes 8. We are at 6. So we are getting pretty close. However, we are still well under, or we still have quite a bit longer to go in this game and quite a few pickaxes to get, that's for sure. Hey, we already have part of those unlocked, but we are nowhere near 8 billion on those. Just decided to click through and see how we were doing on some of these, and they are definitely, I'd say, out of our reach currently. But we are getting pretty close on copper and a little close on titanium, so we might just be able to get this one yet. Alright, and we found another epic artifact, a map piece number 1. Wonder if there's actually going to be more map pieces than just this. Nice. So we can head back to our upgrade and check out what this new piece does. All rocks have 5% less HP, and all worlds can have 25 more max rocks. Pretty good. And yeah, these actually have a rather low percent to spawn. You can see it's 0.00049%. Alright, but we do have enough that we can get this new pickaxe, the Thunderglass. At the start of a mining session, you have a 25% chance to use a random shop item for free. That's pretty good. And compared to our last one, almost a 4-point damage upgrade. And our circle size, I mean, everything's bigger. Everything's higher. Very good. Very nice. We could give it a little bit of an upgrade. How's our next one? We don't even have that unlocked yet. And maybe just one. Two. And then come over to our skill tree. Speaking of the next one, actually, we can now get Rhodonite. So, sure, why not? There we go. We've got a total of 8 ores unlocked, and that is the next one we need there. However, that takes a lot for our first pickaxe there. Let's go ahead and max out our total ore value on that, and that one for the dynamite. All right, let's go check out how our new pickaxe does. So the radius, the circle size, it seems pretty comparable to the previous one that we had. However, I can definitely tell from the start of this video that this is much bigger. I can't remember how many pickaxes we actually went through, or I mean upgraded through, but I know it's been quite a few, maybe even like 5 or 6 pickaxes that we went through, so it's definitely getting bigger. And then yeah, we have that buff which increases the size of that circle as time goes on, and at this point time is going on for a relative decent amount of time. Let's see, pretty good numbers I'd say all around. It's interesting that our copper is a big gap in, I guess, these numbers. Everything else up here is in the millions, and then copper's at like 500,000, so I find that interesting. But there we go. We can get a little extra XP from that, get a little extra rocks at the start because we were saving up our titanium and saving up our Realgar. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. We went through, let's recap. We started on, I think, the snow one. Yeah, because we had those icicles. So we advanced 2 extra worlds. We are very close to getting to that next one, so we'll definitely be getting to there. And how many pickaxes did we get through? Bright Forge. I believe we were on Bright Forge. Yes, because we had that ore multiplier. So we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 upgrades on our pickaxe. Pretty crazy on this one. So let's just take another quick look. We went from 3.9 damage all the way up to 21.7 damage. So that is a very big jump. We added in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new ores and 3, I think, new gems and a lot of artifacts. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a like and also consider subscribing. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.